Shark Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. It's Friday. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you choose to spend it with me. And I'm going to talk about how to become a better man today in this video. I believe everybody wants to become a better version of self. I don't believe anyone wants to be average or mediocre. I truly believe that. I could be wrong, but I don't believe anyone came in the world under the assumption that they were going to be subpar and average. And a lot of times, the reason why most of us don't get very far in life, the reason why most of us don't do or accomplish big things in life is because of the people that we have around us. A lot of the people that we have around us are just time wasters. They're incompetent at best, clueless, don't really have any ambition, any goals. They're just happy to be alive, most people, and that's part of the problem. I believe all of us have a purpose. We should have a purpose, but some of us, our purpose has been beaten out of us through life. A lot of us have been beaten up. A lot of us let our past dictate our future. And it's unfortunate, but it happens. Happens a lot, especially in the United States of America. So the first thing you must do to become a better man, to become your best self, is you got to let some people go, man. You just have to let some people go. Most people you have around you, or I'm not going to say most, I'm going to say some people that you have around you are bottom feeders. Some of these people got to go. A lot of these people are low-key sabotaging your dreams, your ambition. They're talking you out of doing things. They've sold you out so many times, and you have guys that go to sleep with women like this every night. And a lot of these women know that they could be doing more, but then they're not doing it. I mean, and so these people could be your family, friends, associates, people that are down low, secretly hating on you. See, they act like they want to see you succeed, but the reality is a lot of these people that you have around you, they don't want you to succeed. They really don't. They know how to put on a good face. They'll even invite you over to the house. They play the part, but they secretly smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. See, they made a song about it years ago. They smile in your face and stab you in the back. You got to cut these people off. You got to cut these people out of your life. You really have to. If you want to be great, if you want to live an above average life, you got to you got to cut bait. You got to get rid of some people. But here's the other side of the coin. You have to get used to being by yourself. And this is where a lot of guys struggle. A lot of women struggle with this too, because a lot of us, we don't like being by ourselves. We like having somebody. We like having people, always having people in the pipeline. So see, when, like, for example, when a lot of people break up in relationships, just before they break up, they already got somebody else. They already have their eye on somebody else, you know. But we got to cut that out. We got to close one door first before you open up the next door. Because see, a lot of guys and girls, they don't like being by themselves. It's so we got that thing going on out here. We'll accept something, anything, before we end up by ourselves. That has to go. They say it's lonely at the top, and it's crowded at the bottom. This is why people hate up and not down, because it's like, so you can see who's at the top in every environment, every area, every workplace, every field. It doesn't matter if it's entertainment. It doesn't matter if it's education. It doesn't matter what it is. A lot of stuff might be smoke and mirrors. Keep that in mind as well. So some people might be at the top, but you don't know how they got to the top. How they got to the top wasn't fair play on their part. But regardless, they at the top. So it's easy to see who's on the top. It's hard to see. It's hard to find one specific person if they're at the bottom. Because people at the bottom, well, if they're looking at the person that's on the top, they resent them. They feel like they're not supposed to be in that position. So that's where that hate comes from. And the hate is real out here too. Keep that in mind. See, a lot of people, this is what stops a lot of people from making changes or becoming successful, because a lot of people feel like if they become successful, people are going to dislike them. People are going to be jealous of them. People are going to resent them. And that's true. All of the above. It's going to happen. It's why a lot of people don't do anything. What you have to realize is, a lot of people have been conditioned to be that way. And there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, what you going to do? Live in squalor? I'm not. Now, I'm not going to live in fear. That one of the keys to success is to be fearless. That's one of the biggest keys to success, to be fearless. You can't live your life in fear. The book that 50 Cent and what's the guy name? Robert Greene came out with, called The 50th Law. That whole entire book was about living fearless. That's what that whole book was all about. That's in a nutshell. It's about living fearless. Regardless of what you do in life, give it all you got. And be fearless. No half-stepping. No butt kissing. Do it your own way. Go all in. That's what the 50th law was all about. Really. And another thing you have to do is you got to stop seeking validation. This is another thing that holds a lot of guys back. I mean, they just want women, especially women, to understand them and love them so much. Most guys are willing to do almost anything to make that happen. And what happens is a lot of guys spend so much time trying to get women to understand them and love them, and everything else that they wanted to do takes a back seat. Now, see, that's a mistake. And the reason why I say that's a mistake, because when the woman leaves you, then you're going to be stuck there with the bag in your hand. And then you 9 times out of 10, you're going to be financially broken, or could even be mentally broken, you know, and you're not going to be living your purpose because you put so much time in trying to get this one woman to love you so bad, and she's still gonna leave you. So it's like you can't serve two masters. It just doesn't work like that. So this happens all the time, you know, all the time. And you got to start seeing things for what it is. You got to see your situation for what it is. You got to see the world for what it is. Now, some people will say, hey, man, it's not fair out here. It's a lot of double standards. There's a lot of racism, sexism, plagiarism, all type of isms going on out here. Double standards. Yeah, it's all of that and some. But you know what? Nobody cares. This is why you shouldn't seek validation. Nobody cares about your family history, where you came from, all the trial and error that you had in your life, all the mistreatment that you've experienced. Nobody cares about how you're being treated on your job. Nobody cares about how much you hate your job. Nobody cares about the bad experiences you've had with women, the bad experiences you've had, you know, with your family members and your friends. Nobody cares. That's the thing. I've met very few people that have empathy and compassion for people. Very few. Very few. Nobody really cares about you, really. Maybe your parents, your immediate family, brothers and sisters, and even some of them don't care about you. Yeah, they might have cared about you when you were younger. But as they age and you get older, everyone has their own problems. Everyone is too much into themselves. Most people don't care about family being together. None of that. That shit is over. You know, most people don't care about the kids. So if they don't care, if they don't care about the kids, you know how they feel about you. The kids are an extension of them, and you're meeting them as some stranger off the street for the first time, and maybe you invested time into trying to get to know them. So a couple months, a couple years go by, and you realize that they don't care about their kids. So if they don't care about the kids, you know how they feel about you. If they won't fight for their kids, and if they won't fight for themselves, and if they won't stand for the kids, and if they won't stand for themselves, you know they're not going to do that for you. Just logically speaking. Come on. Why should you expect them to do anything else? Why should you expect for them to do the opposite. It's highly unlikely and very illogical. It's not even practical, you know. And there's a lot of people will say, "Hey, man, white guys have it easier." 100%. You're right. A lot of white guys do have it easier. And oh yeah, and P.S. and by the way, if you're around people, it's two types of people. It's believers and non-believers. If you're around people that downplay everything, your family history, maybe your history or your experiences. For example, if you tell somebody a story, something that happened to you, and this person is always downplaying it, this person is just really don't want to hear it, right? They want to now they want you to listen to their experiences. They want you to I guess get stuff off their chest. They want you to listen to them. But when it's your turn, they don't want to hear it. They'll just make it seem like they'll justify why everything is always your fault. If you're around anyone that's like that, you got to cut bait and get away from this person. Not only do you have to cut bait and get away from this person, you have to plan to get away from this person. And then you have and if this person is your girlfriend, your wife, or anybody like that, stop sleeping with that person. ASAP. You got to get rid of those types of people. You got to get rid of people that make life difficult for you. You got to get rid of the red tape, so to speak. People that, you can't control everything in the world, but the things that you can control, like the people you know, the people you associate with, you got to get rid of those non-believers. People that, every time you tell them something that you're doing, or at least thinking about doing, they knock it. They knock it down. They try to talk you out of it. It ain't gonna work. Why are you doing that? Why are you talking to those people? My uncle did that. It didn't work. My mom doesn't like those types of programs. The naysayers, you got to get rid of those people. Get rid of them. If you were to, if like, I look at life like this. If the doctor told you today that that you had 6 months to live, what would you change? Would you go to this? Would you hang out at the same? Would you hang out with the same types of people at your job? Would you eat the same? Would you treat yourself the same? What would you change? What would you do if you had 6 months to live? You got to live every day like it's your last. That's how I do it. Would you gossip about people? Would you complain, or would you find solutions to as many problems as you can in the least amount of time? See, a lot of people say they want solutions to their problems, but if you look at what they're doing, it's not productive. That's why I don't listen to what people say very much. I look at their actions, their intentions. I look at their patterns. I look at their habits. I look at what they read. I look at what they watch on television. That's going to tell me a lot. I don't have to go to your house. If I go to your house and ride with you in your car, I'll be able to know almost everything about you, at least 90%. Because we tend to do what we think we are. That's how we do it in the United States of America. Most people don't do what they want. It takes a lot of courage to do what you want. You got to be fearless. You have to be kind of out of your mind. You know how many people have talked me out of writing books before I published the first one? And you know what people told me when I published my first book? You know what people said? The first response was like, I remember this like it was yesterday. The first book I published was kind of like an experiment. I didn't really know how it was going to how people was going to respond to it. So the first time it got published, I got the first copy before I launched it or released it to the public. And when I got it, it came in the mail. I opened the box and I showed it to some people here where I live, people that I'm closest to, who I was closest to at the time. First response was like, how'd you do this? And why did you do it? That's the first response to seeing my book. Of all the things you could say to somebody, I mean, the first thing it's like, no congratulations, no job well done, nothing. First response was like, hey, how'd you do this? And why'd you do this? See, if you have people like that around you, you got to get rid of these people. These people are just not good for you to be around. It doesn't matter how you feel either. See, you can feel one thing for somebody else, but if they're not building you up, or if they're not in your corner, you got to get rid of these people. You got to get rid of them. See, if you don't get rid of these people, you're never going to become the person that you ought to be, or should be, or would be. It's never going to happen. You're only as strong as the people that you have around you. That's what it is. And you know, I tell you what, I would rather be by myself than to be around a bunch of negative people that don't have my best interests. I'd rather be by myself all day long. And I'm by myself a lot. I'm like the lonely drifter out here where I live at. I don't have anyone that, maybe one person, maybe 1 to 2 people I can call my friend. And I don't even know them that well enough, you know. But I can see myself talking to them and revealing stuff that I don't necessarily reveal to anybody else where I live at now. Because most of my friends are back in North Carolina and South Carolina. But here, you know, I live in Georgia. So, you know, I'm kind of like the lonely drift out here. And I'm that way is a reason. There's a method to the madness why I choose to be that way. Because I don't want to settle with anybody. I don't want to hang with just anybody or share my time with just anybody. So I'd rather be by myself than to be with anybody. You know, so that's like a lot of people have a problem, big problem with that. A lot of people like 4.5. Oh, what's up? Yeah, a lot of people have a problem with that. You know, they don't like sleeping in the bed by themselves. They don't like being by themselves. You know, so you know, you just gotta get past that. Really, you gotta get used to being by yourself before you can really invite anyone else in your life. Because if your life is out of order, if you invite any 9 times out of 10, if you invite anyone else in your life, it's gonna be chaos. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna be any harmony there. You know, I've seen a lot of people do that. That's a lot of people think the purpose of relationships is to make their life better. It doesn't work out like that. The purpose of a relationship is reciprocation. It's like if you leave somebody, if you sit and talk to somebody, and if you leave, that person should be better off. It shouldn't be worse than you left them. But most people are, a lot of people are just got things all twisted. A lot of women I hear all the time, they feel like, if they get with a guy, the guy has to be doing something for her. And that's the whole attitude is like, what can you do for me? And my question is, why should I do anything? Why? Because what? I don't know. You're a woman or you're attractive. I mean, what makes you different than a lot of these other attractive women out here? That's always my question. Whenever I hear women start saying stuff like, what can I do? What can you do for me? I'm like, I can't do anything. I'm not doing anything with that attitude because I look at it like number one, I don't respond to demands very well and ultimatums. If you give me an ultimatum or a demand, I'm out of there. That's how I roll. I just don't have no patience for that. Time and patience for that type of attitude and behavior. I just don't. But a lot of guys, they put up with a lot of unnecessary treatment because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be by themselves. But no one's going to feel sorry for you if you're having a hard time, if you're having financial problems, if you're having relationship problems, if you're having family problems. And no one's going to save you either. That's another thing. Jesus ain't coming. Jesus ain't coming to rescue you. You can pray all you want. No one's coming to rescue you. No one's going to come and swoop down and take control of your life. And a couple years later, you're going to be sitting down on the beach drinking a pina colada. It's not happening. In a fantasy world, man, it sounds good, man. But no one's going to save you from your life. Doesn't matter how bad it get, or how miserable you get. No one's going to save you. This ain't no damn reality show or movie. No. In a movie, the movie gives us a fantasy how things could be or how things should be. But no one's coming to save you. I don't care what book you read. The Quran, the Bible. There's a lot of religious books out here. I don't know them all, but I don't care who you pray to. Buddha, Jesus. They're not coming to save you. No one's coming to save you. If you want to get your life in order, you're going to have to make changes. You're going to have to take control of it. You're going to have to do what you got to do. That's why I always say everything starts with you. It starts with you and ends with you. That's what it is. You got to think for yourself. Do what's in your best interest. Yeah, I know it's a lot of lies out here. People want you to believe a certain type of narrative. They want you to believe a certain type of certain ideas about a lot of different things. And at this point, most of the stuff you see on television is a bunch of lies. Television is more of entertainment today than anything else. If you're searching for the truth, you're not going to find it on television. You can forget about it. You're going to have to you have to meet people out in the streets, wherever you live. Some of these people are off the grid. Some of these people could be overseas. Some of these people could be online. But you're going to have to get out there and meet people if you're searching for the truth. That's what I did, because I was at a point where nothing was working. Majority of stuff I tried, almost none of it worked. I'm talking like 90% of everything I was told to do, it was not working at all. So what I did, man, is I went on a mission. I was like, I'm going to figure this shit out. I'm going to find out what works for me, not what works for my parents, not what works for my grandparents, not what works for my brothers and sisters, what works for me. See, most of the stuff I've learned over the years that worked for my brothers and sisters, that didn't most of that stuff didn't work for me. And that's where we get into trouble at. A lot of us. We just assume, at least I did, I just assumed that every experience everyone else had was supposed to work for me. But it doesn't work like that. I wish it worked like that, but it doesn't work that way. But if you really think about it, it's not really supposed to work that way either. Because everyone's different. Everyone's not the same. Hey, when we came through here, came through your mother, but when you left your mother's womb, hey, all bets off. Everyone have a different experience, different way of living, different way of thinking, different way of being. And it starts in the cradle as a baby. And we grow up, our parents, tell us, raise us in a certain type of way, tell us how we supposed to behave. And some of that stuff, it's not always, it's not the best way to be. But hey, our parents they did the best they could with what they have. Because that's how they were taught. That's how they were raised in a certain type of way. So they automatically, at least most parents, they automatically think that the way they were raised is probably the best way for the kids. But that's not the case, you know. Usually doesn't work out that way. See, everything you learn from the age of, I'm gonna say 17 to 20, 21, almost none of that shit works out in the real world. It ain't gonna work for most people. Now you got some people that will float around, and they'll just work their job and live the average life. And they might be cool for a while. They might be cool for a long time doing that. But as soon as they start doing something big or make some type of power move, that's when they're gonna run into some problems. That's when the hate comes in. And I don't know how this works out, but all good will be attacked. There's this old guy that taught me that years ago. What's up, Daniel? There's this old guy that taught me that years ago. He said all good will be attacked. He said he doesn't know why that is, but he said if no one's hating on you, if no one's saying anything negative about you, I'm good. He said if no one's saying anything negative about you, you're not doing enough. You're not doing much. That's good, man. I'm glad you like the channel. I'm glad someone's getting something out of this. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I mean, that's the only reason I'm here, because of you guys. I get a lot of comments, emails, all the time. So that's why I'm still here, basically. That's why I decided to do more and more videos. I'm not like most people, that most people, it helps you a lot. That's great. Yeah, I'm not like most people, their whole strategy was to come online and start some business or launch products and services and everything like that. And that's cool. Not wrong with that. But that wasn't my path. I came on here, I'm like the people's champ. I just gave in the beginning, I just gave people what they wanted. They wanted help, and that's what it was. That's how I got started. Hey Daniel, where you from? Yeah, I live outside of Atlanta. Are you from Boston? Okay. I've never been up in Boston. Y'all still got snow. Y'all still got snow? It's cold. Well, it's cold, kind of cold everywhere. Really. Plan on moving to Atlanta in 15 months. Why are you moving to Atlanta? Oh, it's melting. Yeah, why are you moving to Atlanta? Just curious. Um, then up here. Really? Well, yeah. Atlanta is big when it comes to music, no doubt about it. But I thought Boston would be well up here in Boston. That shit's specified. I thought Boston would have a big. I would think Boston would have a big music scene too, right? Probably not as big as Atlanta though. If you're in the music, this is the place here, boy. Atlanta. I don't think it really get too much bigger than here than music. They have Barley College of Music. Okay, got you. Yeah, I don't think the music scene at this point it separates from the city. Really? What do you mean it separates? But what do you mean it's separate from the city? Explain. I mean, here in Atlanta, the music scene is a part of the city here. That's what it's all about. Entertainment. Entertainment is the entertainment is the probably the number one money maker in this city. I'm talking from the clubs to radio to publishing to you name it. You know, you can live in Atlanta and just be a local person and make a pretty good living. You don't even have to be on the radio station. You can go, you can perform in clubs. Like the scene is not universal. The arts and entertainment isn't respected as much as medicine, education, and corporate jobs. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, got you. Yeah, it's people in Atlanta, man, that I've never heard of, artists, rappers, singers, and they perform at clubs or events like all the time, and they make a pretty good living here. I've never heard of them, but they doing pretty well. So you don't necessarily have to be um internationally known or anything like that. ATL definitely has a level of respect for the scene because they see that you can capitalize off of it. No doubt about it. You can capitalize off it. No doubt about it, man. 100%. A lot of promoters here, you know. So is, what kind of music you do? No doubt about it. Yeah, networking does help. Oh, you do everything. Okay. R&B. Okay. Hey, do you have a following on social media? I'm just curious. Do you have a following on Instagram, Facebook? Okay, you're building. Okay, that's good. Twitter and Instagram. When it comes to music, Twitter and Instagram is where it's at. And YouTube, but especially Twitter. For whatever reason, when it comes to music, Twitter seems to be bigger than the rest of these channels. I don't know why. I don't know why it happened like that for most people. I would think that YouTube would be bigger than Twitter, but no, nope. That real Blaze. The real D Blaze on Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, if people willing to it takes a lot for people to come out to see you perform. It really does, man. Well, one thing, if you're an artist and if people are willing to, if people buy your music, there's a good chance they'll come out to see you perform. That's what I've seen by just observing, you know, people people's habits over the past 10 years. Yeah. If people willing to if people break bread with you, they will leave their house and come and see you perform. And that takes a lot. That takes a lot for somebody to do. The average person. That takes a lot, man. A lot of people don't realize that. If you can get somebody to leave their house, take out their cash or credit card to buy something and show up to come and see you, shit. You got something, man. For real. Most people can't do that. Man, most people can't even get people to show up at a cookout. At they can't. They have alcohol and food, and people still don't show up. Think about it, Daniel. Think about it. That's real. Most people can't get people to show up at a cookout with food, alcohol, and women there. People still don't show up. So that takes a lot, man. That's a skill set right there. That's a skill. That's an acquired skill right there. Why is that? Because people like being entertained, and they don't their priorities is all mixed up. Well, don't be annoyed. No, don't be annoyed. You just have to understand we're living in the United States of America. This is the entertainment capital of the world. Think about that. There's no other place on this planet where people are being entertained like here. So that has a lot to do with it. I mean, it's entertainment everywhere. Television, internet now. It's you can go down the street at what? It's 4:30 now, where I'm at. At 7 o'clock, you can go down the street and listen to a live band. Yeah, there's ads. It's everywhere. Netflix. So this is the entertainment capital of the world. And plus, people are very stressed. They hate their jobs. They feel stuck. So people are looking to release tension, and that's where all the drinking and getting high and the drugs coming at, because people want to get out of their mind and just be entertained for a couple of hours. All the stress. Well, but I bet you like doing it though. You like being an entertainer though. Well, most people don't. Most people hate what they doing for a living. That's the difference. People hate what they do for a living. See, you love to entertain people, so that makes a difference. If you love what you do, of course you get tired physically, or you might get drained, but it won't really bother you very much. All you got to do is just go to sleep and wake up and do the same shit over again. you know. But if you wake up, but if you go to sleep, like most people hate their job, they'll go to sleep, wake up, and they're dreading of going to the job again. And they have anxiety, some have heart attacks, all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? So hey, that's where a lot of that shit comes from. That's why people feel the need to be entertained. That's what it is, you know. But hey guys, it's kind of early. But I tell you what, I might come back on later on tonight. You know? Yeah, I might come back on later on tonight. So hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Share this video with anybody you think would like it. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Get all the gear, books, t-shirts, hoodies, bags, accessories, all that good stuff. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.